how great it would be sometimes if literally cutting off your thoughts just for a little bit was as simple as just flipping a switch. If we could do that, I know that we all would, but unfortunately, it's not always that easy. Now, with a little bit of practice, of course, you can become aware of the thoughts that's going on in your head. But sometimes we get what we call too many mind. And if you're familiar with the movie The Last Samurai, you might already know where I'm going with this. But the idea of having too many minds is that you're focused on too many things at one given time. And that was me last week. I had my blue belt ranking for karate. It was the 3-year anniversary for my and my wife's little bookshop. Our bookshop ended up flooding. I had tons of meetings going on, and we were just dealing with so many things that my mind couldn't be in one place. In fact, the belt ranking that I had was awful because I couldn't concentrate on anything that was happening in that moment. I was so scattered with so many things that I knew I had to do something different. And, journaling is a great tool inside of our toolbox to help with situations like this. And I journal a lot, if not every day, most every day. And I journal about the things that are bothering me, and I tend to be able to work them out. But what happens when all of these things hit you all at once? So there is a Japanese practice called mushin, which basically means no mind. So you have the ability to do things without thinking. There's a lot of things we do in life, we just don't really have to think about it. But what if you could apply that to more areas of your life and just clear out your head? So obviously journaling wasn't fully working for me, so I knew I needed something else. And that's where today's video sponsor, Skillshare, came into play, because I wanted to get into meditation. Because there was a few days last week, I was just too tired or too busy to journal. And I know what you're thinking, because you're probably thinking the same thing that I thought last week was, Chad, how can you practice meditation? That requires time. If you're already tired and don't have the time to journal, how are you going to be able to meditate? Well, thanks to this Skillshare course I took on basic meditation, I learned that meditation isn't necessarily just you sitting down and letting your thoughts pass by like clouds, like we often believe, that you can actually meditate in journaling. There's meditative journaling practices, but the biggest one for me was the meditative walk. And I'll talk more about that in a second, but first, I want to tell you about my friends over at Skillshare. Skillshare is the best place to learn a creative skill or pick up a new hobby. And if you're looking to reconnect with your creativity and maybe even avoid brain rot, then Skillshare is where humans come to learn from other humans. And the best part is, the first 500 people to use my link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So where this course really had me engaged is when it was talking about being able to go on a walk to meditate, because I'd always thought meditation required lots of practice and dedication and silence. I didn't know that you could be out into the world. So my wife and I took our dog Lily to one of our favorite places that we haven't been in far too long. It's called Elk Gardens. It's in Virginia. It's near the Grayson Highlands State Park. And it is just a beautiful place. It's a fairly easy walk. It's very peaceful, very scenic views. The only issue on this day was it was a little bit cloudy, but I found that very reflective of how my mind was working. And you're going to see in some of these clips that there are times when the entire landscape is completely clear, and other times it is cloudy. And then there are times where there is the clouds slowly rolling in, covering up. And if that is not symbolic of how our minds work sometimes, I don't know what else is. But let me tell you that getting up into the mountains and taking this walk where we just concentrated on that present moment, my problems vanished. Now, that doesn't mean that they went away for good. It doesn't mean that they didn't come back. But being able to get away from everything and take this walk out into nature and enjoy the world around me, soaking in the fresh air, the quietness of everything, and just looking out at these vast views and these landscapes made me realize how insignificant a lot of these issues that I was facing actually were in the grand scheme of things. Because when you can get out to a place like this and you think about the sights, the sounds, the feelings that you're experiencing, those are all forms of meditation. And then what I got to do was take all that in, live in that moment, get my headspace cleared so that all that I was focused on was my wife, my dog, and the walk that we were on. And then what I did is I came back home and I took my old trusty faithful tool of journaling and I wrote about that experience. So what I ended up doing was adding an additional tool into my toolbox. Now I don't have to rely just on journaling to make myself feel better, but I can take time to enjoy these meditative experiences. I talked about this in one of my last videos, is finding that clarity, because we as humans make things so complex. That's what makes everything so hard. But when you dial things back, you practice the idea of no mind, or mushin, and you can get to that point, everything becomes so clear and so much easier. So no matter what you might be dealing with in your life right now, I wish you the best on your journey, and I know that you can overcome whatever it is. So the next time you find yourself with too many minds circling around, give meditation and journaling a try and see if it helps you out.